All right. Why are you currently running for office?
Well, to put it frank, I'm just trying to save my home. That's the biggest thing I would love to do. The Land Commission controls the Alamo along the coastline, but the Alamo itself there's many traditions built that really make everyone equal around the area, but it's an icon of freedom for people around the world, and not just my own city. And when you're coming in and what you're saying is you're going to spend money to save the Alamo, when in fact you're actually going to destroy 120 years worth of traditions. Somebody has to put a stop to it. So that's why I'm majority running.
All right. For those who are currently undecided on who to vote for in this election, why should they vote for you?
Well, I'm the only one who's not an oil lawyer. I say that, well, the Land Commission, because it controls the public lands, it actually has rights to the mineral rights on everything in the state that belongs to the public. Now, not being an oil lawyer, I'm not against oil, I'm just not beholden to them either. And I feel that these decisions have to be made very rationally and understand that the damage that you could do later on can be irreversible if you're not careful. And I think that the other two candidates will not safeguard it as much.
All right. And what are your goals if you are elected into office?
Well, the first thing I would do is to give the Daughters of the Republic of Texas back the Alamo. They were a private organization that monitored it for, really they're the ones who saved the Alamo. We would not have it today if it wasn't for those women. So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is to actually look at the public school fund, which is one of the biggest parts and roles of the Texas Land Commission. What it does is it generates revenue off of that public land, and then that funds goes to help fund our public schools. There's no taxation involved. That's the wonderful part about it. We don't have to worry about any taxation being theft, because these guys can get the money to these really underprivileged areas without having to hurt anybody. So I think for myself, I would look at that, understand, get that money back to where it's supposed to go. And then also, the other reason is because we kept property taxes. Property taxes have increased so much that the schools are getting the same funding. But what that can tell us is that we can actually reduce the taxing for your average day middle class and lower class families.
All right. So since you focus a lot on the Alamo, what are your thoughts about the current land commissioner, George P. Bush, making a deal with an out-of-state organization to try to reimagine the Alamo, and even so far even there's there's the efforts of moving the cenotaph.
Well, I'm completely opposed to the movement of the cenotaph. It's going to cost about $20 million to do that. They have given zero reason why. For myself, as long as bringing in the firms, their idea is that they were going to hire the best. But I'll tell you this, when you look at what their plan is, it looks like they're making it into a park that you would have up in Europe or up there. There's nothing Texas about what they're trying to do to the Alamo. It's like it's going to be a completely different area. And you're, like I said earlier, you're going to kill all these traditions. You have the Battle of Flowers ladies that have been coming and with the parade route have been leaving wreaths in front of the Alamo for over 120 years to the front door, and now all of a sudden you're going to make them go through the servants' entrance in the back. And this is just unacceptable, and it's because the research that was done, I don't think it was done well enough. I think they didn't understand the people of Texas, understand that, I like to tell people we move on island time. We take things slowly. We're not opposed to change, but we take it slow.